Fed was created to take care of the banks. The Fed was not created to take care of the public. I really do see a hyperinflationary depression because really all they do have in their toolbox left is money printing anyway, whether they use this mechanism or they use that mechanism. And so we will see an increase in prices, and yet we're going to not see an increase as much in wages. Wages never keep up with inflation. Right. So therefore, in this K-shaped recovery, the wealthy get wealthier because that's where that money flows to. And then the poor get even poorer. So, and I think that'll expand. So that's why I said, I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but this is a hyperinflationary depression. I could see prices going up 50% a month because the value of the currency is, I mean, honestly, it's pretty much at zero right now, officially, if you look on the Federal Reserve. And I have never really seen it go down as rapidly, officially, as we're seeing it now. So, I mean, you go down to zero, and what do you have? I mean, that's pretty much where we are. So if the dollars that you have will not really buy you anything, I mean, that's what inflation is. It just takes more and more dollars to buy the same goods and services. In stagflation, you have prices going up when you have wages going down. And even though there's been some wage pressure, which there should be, but it never, for the average person, it never keeps up with that inflation. So I think, I hate to say this, but I really do think we're going to probably see at least 80-90% of the population in abject poverty. So that's a depression for sure.
Yeah.
Rather than the Fed taking on the responsibility of creating this mess, they just say, oh, well, that's happening because of this. So you've got too much chasing. So all that does is enable them to point the finger in a different direction when they should be pointing it squarely at themselves. But for me, it's not bullish on gold for that reason, because gold, there's a finite amount of it, period. And we can account for 98% of all the gold that has ever been mined. So, and there is a limited amount that's underground. For me, it's more about the money supply. And it's more about the inflation and the goal to offset that, because at the end of the day, it's used in every single area of the global economy. Right. So that's one asset, and it happens to be a financial asset that has the broadest base of demand. And we know that the price has been artificially suppressed because a rise in gold price is an indication of a failing currency. They would much rather have you look over here at something that's easier for them to control and things that are intangible than something that you actually hold on to. You hold it, you own it, it's invisible. Even though I have it in my possession, for all intents and purposes, it's invisible. And so I think that's really where you get the downward. And I think what we're going to see is kind of like a spring, right? You hold your hand on a spring and you suppress it from really going where it wants to go. When that hand gets released, then it shoots in a direction, either up or down. And that is, I believe that's what we're going to see with gold until they do the overnight reset, and then you're really going to see it. I mean, tell me what else has global confidence and acceptance in money form. It means is those that really have more gold will have more power and more say, which is why you've seen China, Russia, and India really, I mean, we've seen lots of central banks really accumulating, but they're the holders that have the best chance. In fact, I think it was Russia this year that surpassed us in supposed gold holdings. Don't hold me to that. I don't have it right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that Russia surpassed us in terms of gold in one way or another. So, they're going to have more power. Those that have less of it, like, I'm sorry to say this, but Canada sold all their gold holdings. I probably would not want to be Canadian. Absolutely. And I mean, we have to take, I think this is really where community comes in.
Yeah.
Because when you're just by yourself, like people will come in, you've come to my property and you're like blown away. But the
Many
reality
times.
is even though I'm the one, exactly. And even though I'm the one constant that's been there since I started this project in 2010, I have had a lot of help. And you also met my farm workers and everybody else here. So it takes a village. It really does. And I think that that's coming together with like-minded people at the events like you have and at other events that, I mean, that's what we need to do
You're right.
because you need to make sure that you have all those things really put in place: food, water, energy security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter. And, I kind of lump medicine in with food because if you have a chronic illness that requires some kind of ongoing medication, these are the things that no amount of gold is going to be able to buy you if they're
Right.
not in the country, period, end of discussion. Now, if they are and you can get them, well, then all you need is enough money to do it, right? So, but I mean, it's critical. So I think we all look around, and I know for me, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. And you just look at where am I most vulnerable? Where do I feel that I'm really, really vulnerable? And then you start to support that area so you no longer feel vulnerable there.
You're
And
right.
of course, food and silver, in barterability, the difference between gold and silver and anything else is that gold and silver do not have a shelf life and they are universally recognized and accepted. And so that makes that barterability piece a whole lot easier. And it also means that, during these kinds of shifts, like you said before, you own nothing and you will be happy except that somebody owns everything then. And
Yeah.
so personally, I would rather be one of those that own everything and get to say, okay, this is the rent, than the one that has to say, how much is the rent? Can
Yeah.
I pay that or not? When I'm driving around Phoenix, there's so much construction going on. And, I could see how people go, what are they talking about? Things are fine. Look at how business must be booming. They're building all over the place.
Mm,
And yet we look at the underbelly and we
you're
see
right.
what's really happening underneath that,
It's all artificial.
all of it, and built on a mountain of debt. That's why gold and silver for me is the very foundation of my portfolio. It is certainly, I'm all in. I know I'm missing runs here and runs there, except that I think about fiat money differently than pretty much anybody else that I know, to be honest with you.